This video is sponsored by Wren. Vlogmas is a time-honored tradition on YouTube where creators share daily videos with their audiences throughout the month of December during the lead up to Christmas. Fun fact, Vlogmas actually was started in 2011 by popular YouTube creator Ingrid Nielsen. And since then, it's basically expanded to every corner of YouTube. Like, this completely transcends niche and genre. Everybody does Vlogmas. But have you ever wondered why YouTubers participate in Vlogmas? Why do all of a sudden in December, all of these creators that normally post maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, all of the sudden pour all of their time and energy into posting daily videos? It's not just because it's a fun holiday tradition, though it might be nice to think that. Rather, like many trends that we see online, it is at least a little bit motivated by money. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the Vlogmas industrial complex, the system that incentivizes YouTubers to create to the point of burnout throughout the holiday season and make a lot of money while doing it. This is the secret reason why YouTubers do Vlogmas. Also, I know this is kind of an unusual style choice for me, but this is the closest thing that I had to like a Christmas sweater, so we're gonna go with it. Unsurprisingly, one of the biggest motivators for creators to really crank up the output during the month of December is because they are making more money off of it, specifically through their Adsense revenue. And I want to explain to you why December in particular is a really great time to make more videos, because you'll make more AdSense. The last quarter of the year in general is huge for advertisers because this is when most consumer-facing businesses are going to make the majority of their profit for the year, around the holidays, obviously. According to this interview that I read on TubeFilter with Christina Jones, who is the VP of marketing at Digital Brand Architects, according to Jones, the last 3 months of the year, companies run 4 times more marketing campaigns than usual. Other ad agencies that TubeFilter spoke to for this interview said that they plan to spend as much as 50% of their holiday advertising budget on YouTube. Basically, big brands want people to buy their products as gifts during the holidays. This is nothing new. Obviously, this has been a big trend in marketing and advertising forever, but it has interesting implications in the digital space. Since YouTube ads and ads on other platforms like Instagram and Facebook run via an auctioning system, companies basically need to compete to pay for the ad space that they want. It's a really simple situation of supply and demand. When you break it down, there's kind of a similar amount of ad space in December as there would be for the rest of the year, but there's way more demand from advertisers to use that ad space to reach their customers. And so the demand goes way up even though the supply stays relatively similar, and therefore the prices for these ads go up. So because advertisers are willing to pay more for those same ad spots around the holidays, YouTubers make more money. Because if you're not familiar, YouTube AdSense is a ad revenue sharing program where YouTube/Google gives approximately half of the ad revenue that they earn from companies to the creators whose content those ads appear on. This article that I read on TubeFilter also had a quote from Hank Green saying that creators can expect to see a 25% to 200% increase in their YouTube ad revenue around the holidays. So you can kind of start to do the math in your head here. Let's just say, for easy figuring, that you're on the high end of that range and you're going to double your expected ad revenue in the month of December simply by posting the same videos that you normally would. Well, then you might start to think, okay, but what if I doubled the number of videos that I posted? Like, instead of posting once a week, I post twice a week. Now, instead of a 200% increase in my revenue, I'm gonna get a 400% increase. Okay, but how about instead of just posting 8 videos in the month, I post 24? You can see where I'm going with this. The more often you post while the ad payouts are high, the more money you're gonna make. And that's even accounting for the fact that if creators start to post daily rather than just once a week, on average, each of their videos will probably get less views, also considering the volume of other content on the platform during this time. But even with that considered, just because of the huge demand for ad spots on content on YouTube. The more you post during December, the more ad revenue you're gonna make. And generally it's like disproportionately more compared to how much extra work you have to do to make all of those videos. Because like I said, even if you just post as normal, you'll probably see a bigger payout anyway. So you can start to see how this whole Vlogmas thing is looking like a pretty good deal, but it's not just AdSense. AdSense is not the only side of the creator economy that is impacted by this rise in demand around the holidays. Many brands are also allocating significant budgets towards video integrations or sponsored YouTube videos during this time of the year as well. So once again, the same logic applies that I just discussed for AdSense. There is more demand, but like compared to the previous month, similar number of like creators, similar number of videos to sponsor. So brands are willing to pay more, but there's also just more opportunities. Like for example, if you would normally as a creator expect to have like, let's say 5 offers, viable brand deal offers land in your inbox in a given month, then probably in the months of November and December, you're probably seeing more like a dozen like really good potential brand deal offers per month. So you can see why creators would turn to making more videos in order to accommodate that number of brand deal requests. Because the thing is, for a lot of creators, depending on their niche, come January, things are probably gonna look pretty quiet on the brand deal front because a lot of these consumer facing businesses know that they're not going to make a lot of sales during that time. For somebody like me who's more in the business, entrepreneurship, like tech kind of space, I find that it's a little bit more steady because this kind of stuff doesn't necessarily like pop off during the holidays. Though I will say I have definitely seen more brand deal requests in this kind of last couple months of the year than I had in the earlier part of the year. But especially more like lifestyle creators, they are going to do the majority of their AdSense and brand deal revenue during Q4 for sure. Now, speaking of brand deals, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Wren. I'm actually honestly super excited to be partnering with Wren for this section of the video because as an organization, Wren addresses an issue that is something that I'm very passionate about, which is fighting climate change. Now, like I've been talking about, a lot of the content that goes live in December from content creators is generally about pushing their audience to consume. And so I want to take a second now to just kind of encourage you to be intentional and thoughtful about your consumption, not only during the holidays, but like all year long. All of us have an impact on the climate, and I'm personally trying to do my best to find ways to lessen mine. No one is going to be perfect, but I think that we all have a responsibility to be aware of our impact on the environment and do what we can to counter that. And that's exactly where Wren comes in. So if you haven't heard of Wren before, Wren is a website where you can go and actually calculate your carbon footprint. They take you through a series of really straightforward questions where you can enter your personal information and get a stat at the end of what your carbon footprint is. And then Wren gives you the opportunity to counter that by donating to a bunch of really cool carbon reduction projects like planting trees, rainforest protection. I really believe that the best way to reduce your carbon emissions is to reduce your consumption. So obviously driving less, flying less, eating less meat. But like I was saying before, no one's emissions can be zero. And if you feel strongly about being able to contribute to the fight against climate change, then you can donate through Wren to these awesome projects. So go ahead and offset your carbon footprint with Wren. The first 100 people that use the link in my description will get 10 extra trees planted in their name. So make sure you go check that out. When it comes down to it, the influencer economy is inherently tied to the advertising world. And Q4 and the holiday season in general is all about marketing and advertising. Therefore, it's a busy and pretty lucrative time of year for creators. And that's without even getting into the other various business avenues that a lot of creators are involved with. For example, merch sales are similar to all the other different kinds of businesses that we were talking about earlier. They are going to be in high demand as well. Really, any like consumer-based business is going to be in overdrive during this time of year, whether it's owned by like a content creator or not. For me personally, like I was talking about with brand deals earlier, you may or may not have noticed that I've been posting more videos throughout November and early December. And that's because I had a bunch of brands that I really wanted to work with reach out to me looking to do campaigns during this time of year. So even though I was originally planning on posting just one video a week, I was like, you know what? I could squeeze in a few extra uploads so I could work with them. And that is the Vlogmas effect in action. And the same is true for AdSense. Just like I was saying, if you're getting paid more per video during this certain time of year, it only follows that you would make more videos. Or add more mid-roll ads to your existing videos. That's a tip for you. In general, if you are thinking about doing Vlogmas for yourself, maybe it's your first time doing this, maybe you're not even monetized yet, don't worry about all the financial implications of it. I just thought this was an interesting conversation because it kind of explains why Vlogmas is such a widespread trend and not just like a dedicated few people who really love Christmassy stuff. It makes sense why a lot of people are doing it. But if you want to do Vlogmas just for the fun of it, that I really encourage you to go for it. I've done Vlogmas a couple different times, and I've done daily vlogging for short spurts at other times of year as well, and it's always really fun just to document your life during that period of time when you're maybe doing more like fun and festive things than you normally would. So it's definitely worthwhile doing just for the personal experience of it, even if you aren't making any money from it. So if you do go ahead and do Vlogmas, then I wish you the best with it. I'm sure you're gonna have lots of fun. And I hope you found this video interesting. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more deep dives or explainers about other concepts in the YouTuber world or in the creator economy in general, because I find these things really interesting to dive into. And if you want to learn more about YouTube growth and YouTube strategies, then check out this video. You're gonna want to watch that next. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.